From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon as we start a new week with a very strong labor market. Wow, the labor market number released last Friday showed job participation rate, showed unemployment rate, showed number of jobs created, but it's a fascinating series of numbers. We'll go over the latest details on that in this recording. The takeaway was unanimous. So the Federal Reserve is going to raise rates based upon this relatively strong labor numbers. And those raising of rates is nothing new. Those raising of rates will continue into not just next year, but the year after that, says Jay Powell, and that is why you have to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state, because the Federal Reserve raising rates is going to cost more to live, as inflation is not going to come down for 2 more years. And in this recording, we have massive stimulus. We have the big FSCs, federal stimulus checks, that yield about $300,000 over 300 different checks. We're going to go over those in today's recording. Stay to the second half. Then we heat up with the lifetime stimulus checks. Baby, this is getting really exciting because we're just days away from this one. October 13th, right before Halloween. We're going to see the latest details on that COLA number. What do you think it is? Jump in the lunch chat, write your number projection right now. What do you believe the COLA number will be? Plus, we get that CPI-W for the month of September. What do you think that's going to be, right? The CPI-W, comment your state in the live chat. We'll go over your answers in just a second. Also, we have inflation relief stimulus checks. Great news on those. Massive amounts of money in major states across the board. And then there's the talk of bringing back another stimulus item from 2021. What is it? It's a talk. It's not actually law yet, but it's actually quite fascinating. It's brand new details today on an Afternoons LA. Plus, it's a special edition of Afternoons LA, and we have a lot of cast of characters joining us in the background. Can you see them? I will pivot. I will pivot somehow so you can see the cast of characters. There are people looking over my shoulder. Not Mitch. Things just about as scary as Mitch. It's Day of the Dead, or as Bob Bacon will say, Economy of the Dead. Well, today's not Day of the Dead, but it is. Every day is Economy of the Dead on the channel lately. We'll go over the latest detail on that Holidays LA special edition on the big second half of this recording. From the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's not a dead recording, it's a very live recording. I'm alive, at least at the moment. So let's get to the breaking details. It all starts right here, right now, as Afternoons LA Holidays edition gets underway. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is gorgeous here as we start a brand new week on LALATE. Hope you're having a good day as well. The reason for my pause, earphones, Day of the Dead earphones. It's because I pulled out one earphone. I said, is that bad audio? No, it's bad earphone. A Day of the Dead earphones. In today's recording, we got a lot going over. And that massive stimulus is one of the issues. And you needed it because of the economy of the dead, as Bob Bacon says. Day of the Dead, 1 year holiday, Economy of the Dead, an annual daily occurrence on this channel. We're going to go over all those incredible sums of money in the big second half. But first, how are you? Are you having a beautiful day? I am. And if you need a beat to a different drum, I have this guy for us. Yes. Day of the Dead. Isn't he charming? Is it Jay Powell? It's a Jay Powell. In the big second half, we're going to go over Day of the Dead and see what he's up to and what song this guy's playing. But thank you for joining us. We'll be with you in just a second. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is the U.S. economy did not add as many jobs as anticipated on Friday. In the September jobs number, this is a monthly number released once a month, and it came in with a series of data points. We're going to go over that data and then the analysis right after that and the impact on your 4 stimulus checks. You want to stay the big second half? Stay to the big second half of this recording because I got monster checks for you, but let's go over why first with the breaking news. On Friday, we learned that in the month of September, the U.S. economy added 263,000 new jobs. How many is 263,000 new jobs? Well, the estimate was supposed to be 275,000, so it was a major miss. We did not create as many jobs as anticipated. But if you want a benchmark, let's compare this to the month of August, the prior month. The month of September, we released on Friday, got 263,000 new jobs. The prior month, released in August, had 315,000 new jobs created. So we created 50,000 less jobs in the month of September compared to the prior month of August. How low is 263,000 new jobs created in this U.S. economy in the month of September? It's the lowest number since April 2021. Okay, so this is very important. We did not generate as many jobs last month as anticipated, and we also generated the worst number of jobs on a monthly basis of the entire year, and the lowest number since 2021, April. Okay, so we got that data. Let's go to the next data point. The job participation rate, which is the number of Americans participating in the labor market, was lower by about 57,000. And then people taking part-time jobs for economic reasons was also down from 7% to 6.7%. Interesting. Wages, though, was a big surprise. Wages went up. Wages went up 0.3% monthly to 5% annualized. Am I surprised by that number? A little bit. You should be as well. If you've been watching all the recordings, we generally talk about wages going up 0.2% per month. So this number showed the wages went up 0.3% per month. So it shows the wage inflation is actually starting to go even faster, higher. Where are the jobs created? We discussed this yesterday on this channel. The largest increase was hospitality, leisure, and the loss of jobs on the other side was on government jobs. 25,000 people quit government jobs or lost their jobs last month. We also have a major loss of jobs in the financial industry, transportation, and warehouses, 8,000 across the board. The interesting number is that the number of job openings is shrinking. Okay, so here we go. If we generate less jobs, then there's less jobs available when someone's unemployed. It was 2 jobs available to every 1 person. Now it's 1.7%. And then the unemployment rate rose. Slightly in this number as well. That's what's important to understand. The unemployment rate dropped. The unemployment rate dropped to 3.5% versus a projection of a 3.7. So there you go. The immediate reaction to the news, ironically, was unanimous. We had discussed this all last week. We thought, that the reaction was going to be use the news and spin it for your own narrative. People saying, oh, Jay Powell's going to stop. Now Jay Powell's going to pick it up and do it faster. Different statements with the same data. No, it didn't actually happen that way. People agreed that this data was basically a series of beats, series of stronger labor numbers than anticipated, and the Federal Reserve is going to come in more aggressively, or at least stay where they are. That was the universal consensus on the analysis. No one in here thought that these numbers indicated that the Federal Reserve is going to stop raising rates at all. This is at the GDP Now Atlanta Fed tracker just days ago, showed that the third quarter had a growth rate of about 2.9%. Does that mean we don't have a recession? No, not at all. Overall, long-term unemployment declined by 70,000 to 1.1, and the jobless rate fell to 18.5%. This, my friends, is why you want to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. You want to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Why? Because Jay Powell's going to come in more aggressively and continue what he's been doing. And that is why you want to stay to the big second half. But first, here's a preview of those incredible checks that are at issue. There's 3 categories of checks that are now law, and they're huge. The first one are FSCs. The second one are ISCs, and the third one are LSCs. What's the difference? Let's go over the difference right now. FSC, Federal Relief Stimulus Checks, or federal stimulus checks, are great checks that were passed by the President of the United States, followed up by Congress, that yield massive sums of money. Let's look at those numbers right now. What happened? Well, the president came along and passed about $100,000 of FSC, federal stimulus checks. These are from Congress, from the president, from Washington, D.C., from the federal government, not from your state. About $100,000. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, go get it. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. The first three checks, I call them A, B, and C. Then came along Congress, and Congress passed other checks, and those became a part of a bill, and those checks are E through K, bringing us to hundreds of checks, FSCs at that point. Thereafter, I found you other checks, and where are all these incredible checks? In the membership newsletter. L&M, N&O, P, and Q, bringing us now to 300 plus checks of a $300,000. How do you get them? You become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. As earnings recession's U.S. economy continued to pick up, well, we also had a big surprise as states announced that they have inflation relief stimulus checks. We'll be going over those in just a second. And thereafter, we had other checks, and those are lifetime stimulus checks. And those lifetime stimulus checks have been based upon the activity of these people, the Federal Reserve. Those lifetime stimulus checks really come to a culmination, a season finale, a series finale on October 13th. We'll go over the latest details on what the Federal Reserve has been doing with that and how it impacts your raise of your benefits across the board. And there you go, three categories of checks, but we're going to go over each of these incredible checks in the big second half. You stay with me, and let's jump right back into that breaking news. The benefits lifts is a major story because we're just days away from October 13th. On October 13th, Americans will learn how much their benefits are going to go up. It's dependent upon inflation. It's dependent upon September's CPI-W, which is also released that day. And we have a lot of other data that is impacting that inflation across the board. The data, of course, is gasoline. If you've been with this channel for a while, I had told you that in the month of July, that gasoline will go higher in the month of September. Why? Because it always goes higher in the month of September. That is a time in which hurricane season starts. And with hurricane season, refineries go offline. And it's also a time in which people are back in school, driving more and going back to work from those summer vacations. So more demand, less gasoline. That's what happened. And the gasoline prices went up dramatically across the board. Now, along the way, we also had some other events. Hurricane Ian hit dramatically, took refineries offline in the Gulf of Mexico for about 2 or 3 days. Number two, we had the U.S. release of gasoline the U.S. owns called the U.S. Strategic Reserves run out. I told you they weren't going to do this forever. They would only do it for a series of months. That has now ended. They didn't run out of oil. They ended the program. Number three, the major story, which was OPEC+. OPEC Plus, I had told you, was going to cut production of gasoline. Production of gasoline means how much gasoline they pump out of the ground. So how many barrels are available. If there's less gasoline, of course, the prices go up. It became very politically inspired because the White House traveled to Saudi Arabia in the month of August asking the Saudi prince with a fist pump to raise the production output and only got 100,000 extra barrels a day from that fist pump meeting. Then Putin the last few weeks said, cut the barrels more across the board. I had predicted to you it was going to be 1 million barrels a day. It came in at 2 million barrels a day. And that is how it started. But since then, it is actually heating up more. As congressional officials, bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats, before this even started, have been considering to declare OPEC Plus a cartel and go after OPEC Plus under the Sherman Act. The president had said over prior months, don't do it. I'm trying to do deals with them. Don't do it. But now there's indication that the White House may allow the Congress to go ahead and do it with his blessing to go after OPEC Plus. Does this hurt the situation or help the situation? It's very hard to say, but remember, gasoline prices are going up. And there is nothing to stop them from going up because OPEC Plus has cut the production. We're not pumping out gasoline or releasing gasoline from our strategic reserves. And there's no other way to get the gasoline down. So inflation will go higher. Another report that came in on Wednesday this last week, I loved it because it's an indication of what you and I have learned as a family here, was basically a validation of everything I've taught you since January of this year. Last year, I was the only American broadcaster to report the U.S. economy would have 8% inflation in December 2021. We got it. Then in January 2022, I said that the raising of the Federal Reserve interest rates at J. Powell and Company at the Federal Reserve would not reduce inflation, because raising rates does not solve the problems that's causing inflation, which is supply chain disruption and also gasoline prices. Well, today we all still know, as of today's broadcast, that gasoline prices are going higher, and raising rates, the Federal Reserve does not get the gasoline prices down. Obviously, you know that. This is very, very, very basic. The reason why gasoline prices are going up is because less gasoline, more demand. That's number one. Raising rates doesn't fix it. Let's go over the second part of the equation. The supply chain disruption, the inability to get the products from where they are to you, has that improved? It has improved. But does raising rates solve supply chain disruption? It does not. And I said that in January, and so far it has not proved to fix it at all. So what was in that report on Wednesday? The report on Wednesday said, you know what is left in this inflation that J. Powell can really impact by raising rates? What's left is medical bills. Not going to reduce the medical bills by raising rates. The labor rate, the rental rate, what apartment owners are charging for the tenant, the rent rate, and finally the salaries, and lastly the food. Okay, so of those, which items do you believe that the Federal Reserve raising rates would get down inflation? I'll ask the question to you right now. You say yes or no, and the item, and then I'll give you the answer in just a second. Raising rates, would it get the price of groceries down? Yes or no? Groceries down? Yes or no? In the live chat. I'll go back over that in a second. Number two, raising rates, salaries down? Yes or no? In the live chat right now. Raising rates, getting landlord rent prices down? Yes or no? And raising rates, reducing medical bills? Yes or no? In the live chat right now. All right, let's go over the answers. Raising rates will get medical bills down? No. Medical bills are really tied to the agreements between the medical provider, like the hospital or the physician, and the insurance company, the billing. So raising the rates is not going to tell the hospital to charge. Raising interest rates does not get the hospital to charge less for their billing practices. Absolutely not true. Number two, the landlord with the rent. Is the raising the rates going to get the landlord to charge less rent? No. Absolutely no. In fact, it may be the reverse. Why? If raising rates makes buying a home less affordable, then more people will rent than own. When mortgage rates are through the roof, they'll have to stay in an apartment, and the landlord will have less vacancy levels. So the landlord has every reason to keep his current price point across the board. More people rent when they cannot afford housing, when they cannot afford to buy a home. There you go. Let's go to the third one, the labor rate. Okay, now this is interesting. Can raising rates bring down the labor rate? Slowly, but very, very slowly. It would happen at the end of a recession. Basically, you're saying that the employer will stop raising rates because the labor market falls apart. What the analysis is that Jay Powell will hurt the labor market. He says he will. And that as the labor market falls apart, there's less job openings, there's less job availabilities, more people are unemployed, then they'll take the lower paying job. How far are we from that? A very long way away from that. That's why today's data is so important. And finally, the price of the goods, the grocery items. If you said yes, raising rates, interest rates will get the grocery items down. Yes, that's the first one that will work. Absolutely. And this, my friends, is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every US state, because if everything that Jay Powell's doing is not going to impact everything else we just went over, then imagine how costly it is to live. If everything else is going to go higher, 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 and he's also raising rates, and it's not going to work on anything but groceries, then imagine why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every US state. Let's go over those incredible checks right now. Those incredible checks right now start with those FSC, federal stimulus checks. Let's look at those federal stimulus checks right now. The first three checks are A, B, and C. And these are passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. They are absolutely incredible. You ready to do them? I'm ready to do them. Let's go over check A, B, and C right now. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, if you're not on benefits, go get it as well. How do you get it? You go under this video and become a member. Join this channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcito VIP. Welcome to the nearly 100 new members join this channel every 48 hours. I love to death all my wonderful members, and you are joining in record numbers once again. Go into this video, join this channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Then you get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. Go down to where you see Check A, click the link, and go right and apply. Speller got this incredible check. Congratulations to Speller. But you're not done there yet. You're going to go get check B next to the newsletter. $15,000 to $80,000. It's a huge check. And this incredible check has yielded people lots of money. A lot of viewers of this channel have gotten over $80,000. How do you get this incredible check? You go into this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Go down the membership newsletter to see Find Check B. And this is what Frank Mancuso did. He became a member for just a few dollars. For just a few dollars of becoming a member, look what he got in less than 1 month. He got 18 months of mortgages, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of high-speed internet, all paid for. Imagine how much a few dollars for a membership yielded Frank Mancuso in stimulus. 18 months of mortgage, folks, that's not a few $100s. That's not a few $1,000s. That's a lot of massive money. 18 months of his utility bills paid. 18 months of his high-speed internet paid. That is thousands and thousands of dollars. Another viewer out of Florida, she got nearly $100,000. 80-plus checks from Check B. Absolutely. By becoming a member, go around this video and go down to Check B. But you're not done there yet. You're going to go down to Check C. Check C is just huge. It's absolutely wonderful. And what is Check C? Check C is rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And when you go down to Check C in the membership newsletter, it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Now, one of the things I want you to promise me this is, one, you stay the big second half of this recording because we're going to go over all these incredible checks more in detail. And two, when you go get Check C, you reach out to all the 12 places in the membership newsletter. In the membership newsletter, I have 12 places for you to reach out for these incredible Check Cs. You want to do it. And that is the incredible success of Check C. You want to see more of the success of Check C? Let's look at it right now. I've been getting people Check C on this channel for a long time. And let's look at the incredible numbers across the board. Do you want $30,000 of rent? I believe you do. Go get some Check C. Look at these huge success stories. Congratulations. 2 viewers just recently getting 14 months of rent. How about utilities? Lynn Glenn, who's in all the live chats, wonderful longtime viewer, she got 12 months of utilities. She also got some rent. Another viewer got 12 months of utilities. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 of utilities. Go get Check C. How about SNAP? Well, that same brother-in-law of Mark's is getting $250,000 over 10 years because he became a member of this channel. Then combinations. Yes, get a lot of different checks. Niece, who's at $23,000, she went to $50,000. Mark, he's at $32,000, he went to $50,000. Then Mark went from $50,000 to $100,000, then $166,000. Lorraine, she was at $105,000, and then she was at $155,000. The success stories keep on coming in. In the last 7 days, we have Deborah, who got $16,000. We have Dragon, who added $30,000 to her $140,000, bringing her grand total, Ms. Dragon, to $170,000. There's a lot of success stories coming on in, and that success story should be yours as well. Go into this video, join the channel, and stay to the big second half. Promise me this, because I'm going to go over all these incredible checks for you in just a second. But here's a breaking news story. A new report says the President of the United States is asking to bring back a popular stimulus item. Now, remember, this is not law yet. It's just a story. It's just breaking news. All the other stimulus I have for you, FSC, LSC, ISC, are law. They're paid out. They're paying out. But here's a breaking news story about a potential other stimulus on the horizon. The child tax credit. The president, in a series of comments in the last 24 hours, is calling for the child tax credit to come on back. Now, what you're obviously going to ask is, did he say how to bring it back? Did he say how he would get it passed? No and no. So to get a child tax credit to get passed, this is fascinating. I'm thinking this through right on air with you right now because it's breaking news. To get it passed, he would need a reconciliation. Oh, here we go again. We would need another recon. Yeah, to get that child tax credit back. What is a child tax credit? It is about $200 to $300 a month for children about 17 years or younger for low-income households. He wants to make it a lifetime, and he would need a reconciliation because he does not have enough people in the Senate to support that from the Republicans, if at any at all. And so he would need a complete Democratic vote. Joe Manchin is against the child tax credit, so I don't know if it would pass in any form. But this is interesting. Again, he would need a reconciliation that would basically tee up. Yeah, you're thinking ahead of me. I know what's going through your head. If he's doing another recon, then he could put he could put other stimulus in the recon in addition to the child tax credit. He has not announced a recon. He has not written another recon, but I want you to know that story because it's heating up right at the moment. The other story that's really fascinating right now is really the reaction to Wall Street with what happened on Friday. And the reaction to Wall Street is really getting on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves. Is it getting on your nerves? I think it's getting on everyone's nerves, except Wall Street. Wall Street saw the Friday job numbers, and they said, oh, so I guess Jay Powell's not going to pivot. Oh, I guess Jay Powell's going to continue to raise those rates. I guess Jay Powell's going to do what he said he's going to do. You know what? These people just don't get it right. They just want to smack them with a slab of bacon. You know, they just don't get it. Jay Powell's made very clear he's raising rates into 2024. And they saw this data that came in on Friday, and they're like, oh, I guess he really is going to raise rates. You know, how long have we dealt with these knuckleheads that just really don't want to get the reality check to kick in? And this, my friends, is why, if you saw it last week, it happened. Dow Jones down 600 points, another day, 600 points, now another day, 600 points. They're really not grasping it. They have not embedded the risk into the markets of a downward spiraling economy. And now they're trying to catch up. You're not, because of the big second half. We're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Why do you need these incredible checks? First, housing falling apart. Next, the stock market. Valuations going to kaput. So there is no place to real safe haven to put any money in stocks. And for everyone who told you to buy stocks in the month of June, July, let's even put it back to May. Anyone who told you to buy crypto in June or later, anyone who told you to buy stocks June later, anyone who told you to buy real estate June later, I need you to make a promise to yourself right now. Never, ever listen to that person ever again. That person was so wrong because I told you at the time, don't do it. And now they say, don't buy it. Yeah, that's really nice. After everything crashes in smithereens, they say, oh, don't buy it now. Yeah, well, it's sort of obvious don't buy it now. Where were you in May when I was telling people, don't buy stocks, don't buy crypto, don't buy real estate, don't buy auto, don't buy anything? Oh, and by the way, auto's falling apart as well. Told you that was going to happen. That's coming up in the big second half. Also in the big second half, we have some performances. No, we do not have a pop singer. We have a dead singer. We'll be going over Day of the Dead in the big second half as we also go over Economy of the Dead. But not dead in the second half is stimulus. We have stimulus of a life, stimulus of very live stimulus, and it's FSC, ISC, and lifetime stimulus coming up in the lifetime stimulus. There you go. Ironic? No. Lifetime stimulus and Day of the Dead both coming up in the big second half. It's the tug and pull that only you're going to see on this channel. Plus, we'll go over a preview of what to expect for the big week that is upon us. Oh, wow. I'm excited for you. Stay with me. The big second half comes up in just 60 seconds as Afternoons LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues in a big second half on the shores of Santa Monica, California, where we're very live. We are very live until Day of the Dead, and then everything changes the other direction. I hope you have a beautiful afternoon, and boy, what a day it is. I pivot a little bit here so you can see. There he is, our new cast member in the background. Oh, there he is. There's two. Oh, there are two of them. Can you see him? Yeah, you can. Day of the Dead heating up the big second half. But first, let's go into some big stimulus. And the stimulus is not dead. It's very much alive. Massive FSC, ISC, and lifetime stimulus checks. So let's go right in it right now. FSC, federal stimulus checks. These are checks passed by the President of the United States, by Congress. They're from the federal government, from Washington, D.C. They send the checks. They administer the checks. They even put the stamp on the check. It has nothing to do with your state. $300,000, over 300 different checks. In the first half of this recording, we went over the first three checks. A, B, and C. When you become a member, go on this video and join the channel, you get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. And you go down to apply for check A, to check B, and for check C. Now let's go into the next checks. E through K. These are the checks passed by Congress, and they're absolutely incredible. Check E, $7,500. Wow. Check F, $4,000. Check G, 30% off. Check H, $2,000. Wow, that's huge. That's live. Check I, $8,000. Incredible. I feel so alive with that as well. Check J, also $8,000. Whoa, that'll make people jump out of the grave on that one. $8,000. Then we have check K, $14,000. Whoa, there are corpses turning their grave when they hear that stimulus. Incredible, $14,000. And that is the incredible checks E through K. Day of the Dead, yes. Day of the life of the stimulus, absolutely. That is checks E through K. FSCs. Then we got more checks after that. We have L and M. L, $100,000 of an average of loan interest-free money. Whoa. $4,000 of free grant money. Incredible. We have Stimulus N, my favorite stimulus. It's just incredible. A Stimulus N is $100 towards a brand new laptop, computer, or tablet. Oh, that's incredible, because most tablets are less than $100. So this is just wonderful. Absolutely incredible. Plus free internet. Look at that. So you can have free internet and a tablet. You can contact the dead all year long with this channel now. I don't know if you would, but you know, you can, and I'm referring to Mitch, of course. There's Stimulus N. Then you can go down to Stimulus O. Stimulus O, 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and 0 fees, plus 0 credit check and 0 insurance for a brand new home. Just incredible. And then goes Stimulus P and Q. Stimulus P is 3% down, even for a refi, and $8,000 of free closing costs. There you go, my friends. That is the wonderful FSCs. Let's recap what you need to know more about these incredible FSCs. They are stimulus checks A through Q. If you go into this video and become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP member, you get the membership newsletter. In that membership newsletter, you go down to check A, apply. Check B, apply. Check C, it tells you the 12 places to reach out to. You promise you will reach out to all 12. And then E through K, L all the way over to Q. Stimulus B and Stimulus C are about 80 to 100 checks. The only difference with Stimulus C is I have 12 places for you to reach out to for 80 plus checks. Just absolutely incredible. And let's remember, this is federal stimulus from the federal government. So they have a lot of money and they administer the money. You go under this video, you become a member, get that membership newsletter. Remember, it is 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is on the East Coast, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Remember the time difference. And if you're Midwest, it's 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. You go down and apply for those incredible checks. And welcome to the brand new members. Over 100 brand new members in the last 48 hours. absolutely on fire. You want to tell people to come on over. We call this Stimulus Stampede. Stimulus Stampede predicted on this channel for a while, and it's happening right now. Do you feel it? You see it. You absolutely see it. All the brand new members, because we knew the economy was going to fall apart. I told you it was going to fall apart, and as it does, people are going to come here first to get this incredible stimulus, because you're not going to hear this anywhere else. And you're not going to hear the ISCs anywhere else. Inflation relief, stimulus checks. Now, these inflation relief stimulus checks are from your states. And in most states, you don't hear this on the local news. You don't hear this on the local radio. You don't see this in the local newspaper. They just don't cover the subject matter. They don't really care to. I don't know why. I don't own their news station, but they don't carry it. And yet the stimulus is there. Let's go over how this works. The inflation relief stimulus checks are generally $1,000. Great, can pay for some bills. Number two, automatic direct deposit or otherwise in the mail. Huge. And number three, you generally have to have a tax return on file, which is voluntary. If you don't have to file a tax return, you would still voluntarily file the tax return. Go to irs.gov and electronically send it in. It takes all 5 minutes, totally free. How do you learn about these ISCs? They are in the newsletter at Check D. You go down into Check D, and it has a link that opens up a new page. It lists all the respective states, the state, then the amount of the check, then a link to the website to go in and get that incredible money from your state. Incredible. And there you go. That is inflation relief stimulus checks, about $1,000, following those FSC, federal stimulus checks, about $300,000. And then we got more checks, and you know the news. It's October 13th. October 13th heats up with that incredible announcement of COLA. The announcement of CPI-W. Early in this recording, I asked you, what do you believe the COLA raise will be on October 13th? And let's go over your answers right now. Most viewers are putting this at 10, 11, 12, or 13% COLA raise. I'm putting it about 11%. What about the CPI-W for the month of September, also being released on October 13th? Most viewers are putting this at 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, and it's hovering mostly at the 9.1 or 9.2. I'm putting it at 9.1. Let's go over what's happening. A lifetime stimulus. Why do we call this lifetime stimulus? Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Once your benefits go up, they never go down. So, for example, if your benefits go up 10% this year, that's lifetime. And JPAL's already told us that there's going to be inflation next year and the year after that. So there will be a raise on top of this next year and the year after that. So how much would your benefits go up, and why are they going up? They're going up because of inflation. And that inflation is hitting across the board. And as that inflation comes in, then what happens? Your benefits go up left and right. Your benefits are determined upon COLA, C-O-L-A. Cost of living adjustment, which is announced on October 13th. It's determined based upon the CPI-W for the month of July, August, and September. Now, the CPI-W for the month of July, we already have. That was an 8.7. The month of August, we have. That was an 8.9. So what do we believe the CPI-W for the month of September will be? Jump in the live chat right now and write the number. We've been asking this question for a while, and universally viewers are now putting it at a 9.1 to 9.3. I'm putting it at 9.1. Why? Because of gasoline. I guess, again, this is September data, not October data. Gasoline in the second half of September started to go the other direction. It had fallen dramatically in July, fallen dramatically in August. Every day was a negative day. Every day it went down 10, 20 cents a day. In September, the second half of the month, it turned the other direction, started going back up. And with that, there's really nothing left in the CPI that is negative at all or lower in the month of September. The three warm-up numbers, let's go over them right now. Rents, yes, they're going up every month, about 1%. Number two, the medical bills, yes, they're going up about 1% every month. Absolutely. Number three, the salaries, they're going up about 0.2% every month. And guess what? We have some data, certainly on that jobs number on Friday. It showed that the salaries went up 0.3% in September. So that actually shows the salaries went up even more than they went up in the month of August, which was 0.2%. Which brings us back to grocery bills. Do we see grocery bills going down? Absolutely not. Grocery bills are not going down. It's just not happening. And jump in the live chat right now. Here's some questions for you. Do you see the chicken going down or going up? Chicken, comma, your state, comma, up or down, comma, your state. My answer, chicken, up, comma, California. How about the meat? Is the meat going up? Right in the live chat. Meat, comma, up, comma, California. And the one that really triggers people to the keyboard and gets those fingers moving, the soda. Is the soda going up or down? The answers have been universal. Soda, way, way up, comma, your state. That's the answers coming in across the board. So with that, I'm putting that CPI-W of September at a Dow 9.1. What do you say? Jump the live chat right now. Cola, let's go over that final number. So this is a very hard number to predict. We may be all wrong. I had said 11% back in July, and at the time I said I was overvaluing it. Now I'm staying at 11%, and now I'm thinking I'm undervaluing it. What do you think of that? That Cola raise, jump in the live chat across the board. And there you go. We'll get that announcement on October 13th. This is the raise your benefits, and this is huge. Also huge is Day of the Dead. Let's take a look at them. How are they doing? We got two cast of characters over there. We got, let's move the microphone over here so we can follow me. We have the purple and we have the yellow. You like them? I think they're adorable. You met the yellow on a prior broadcast. Today we have the purple joining us. And it is one of many different motifs for the holiday season. Day of the Dead is basically, in this case, a ceramic figurine that you put over a candle, much like a jack-o'-lantern. And that's why the concept works quite beautifully. Look at them. Isn't that adorable? Do you recognize that smile from anywhere? Let me put my arm down. See, there you go. Do you recognize that smile from anywhere? I bet you do. So there you go. Really just adorable. Now here's some more Day of the Dead. Wow. Look at this guy. What song do you think he's playing? Do you think he played at Mitch's Lobster Fest? I think he did. So let's bring him a little bit closer to the camera. Isn't he adorable? Look at that. He is playing a musical instrument, and he has the beautiful sombrero, and he has the beautiful little red tie, and he's a mariachi. He is a adorable Day of the Dead mariachi with that style. I mean, we see a lot of people that's, this smile, this Day of the Dead smile, it just seems to appear a lot of places on this channel. That Day of the Dead style, it's just everywhere. Day of the Dead smile. I think that's what you do when you hear that J-Powell's raising interest rates. He's raising interest rates again. Oh goodness. I think that's what Wall Street does when they were hoping for a Fed pivot and they don't get a Fed pivot on those interest rate specs. They're raising rates again. I was hoping for a Fed pivot, but I guess there's no Fed pivot. There you are. So our adorable character, Day of the Dead can come in many different forms. And you know what I like about this is it's so petite. It's very, very petite. Unlike J-Powell's interest rate spikes. It's petite, actually, sort of like that job creation number for the month of September. Really petite number. Smallest, most petite number since April 2021. It's a very petite number. Petite, so economy of the dead, petite job creation number, very almost dead. It's just very, very pretty. Oh, look, he has beautiful boots. At the boot bar, no, these are mariachi boots. So. And there you go. You still have time to get ready for Day of the Dead. You also have time to get ready for Economy of the Dead. And that's why we're here. Economy of the Dead, well, we are in a recession. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth have been posted. And the real heart of the economy is still not here. We had Governor Waller say just days ago, we have a long way to go on this. Him referring to us, the Federal Reserve. He's right. I mean, look at these numbers. The labor numbers are very robust, generally, with the exception of the job creation. And you see the groceries. Groceries are not coming down. And you see the other items not going down. So rent, salaries, now higher than the prior month. Medical. And none of these items are coming down. So the inflation is becoming more pervasive than ever before in September. And that means that Jay Powell has a lot more to do. How is this story going to end? This story is going to end in a very dark recession. I asked that question over the weekend, and it's very fascinating because we started this broadcast dark, and now the sun's rising on the east, and we're starting coming to daylight. The economy is going to go into a very dark recession. That's what viewers agreed in that live chat yesterday. Not a light recession, and not a sort of in and out quick recession. There were some analysts again trying to tell you maybe it's going to be a light recession. It's not going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Housing is going to really collapse. Auto is going to collapse. You're hearing this first on this channel. I started talking about it about a month ago, but let me make this very clear right now. Auto is going to collapse. What do we see in those auto numbers? I think it was on Thursday. It showed that the number of cars sold dropped dramatically, but their earnings was way up. And how did they get that done? Miss Dragon was in the live chat. She got it right. Because the price of the car has risen so much that they're selling less cars, but they're making more profits. How long is that going to work in a recession? About 1 second. It's not going to last. There's a new report out today about General Motors saying we're all in on those electric vehicles, and we're here to tell you how we're going to sell those electric vehicles, and we think we're going to be able to get this done by selling these electric vehicles. I got to tell you, GM is very indicative of what's going to go wrong with the auto industry. It's called inflation. What's going to go wrong with the auto industry? The auto industry has seen inflation and has started to raise those price of cars over the last few months. As inflation starts to settle down, as they get all the component parts of the cars, do you think they're going to reduce the price of the car? No. They like that high price of the car. They're going higher. With electric vehicles, that has been sort of the narrative we've seen on this channel for the last year. Electric vehicles, more expensive vehicles. And the narrative now with the U.S. auto manufacturers is that we just don't have $15,000 cars for you now anymore. We have $60,000 cars. We have $60,000 cars as our entry-level car, not $15,000. And it's because it's electric. And because it's electric, there's a reason why you should be buying a $60,000 car. That's their pitch. Are you buying that pitch? Of course you're not. And that's what's going to implode. The auto industry is going to implode with exorbitant prices of cars with really only one price point. Expensive. Too expensive for an economy that's struggling at the moment and is really going to collapse. And how many of those $60,000 entry-level electric cars are they going to sell? How many people are going to be able to afford the car loan on a $60,000 entry-level electric car? And they say we got to teach people to buy an electric car. No, the American people need to teach you how to sell an electric car that's cheaper. And until they understand that, they're going to lose their shirt. They're going to lose their shirt. In the last week, we have learned that the Ford Lightning pickup truck and other U.S. auto manufacturers' electric cars are actually going to debut at higher prices than they even said they were going to be just weeks earlier. These price points are going to kill the auto industry. And it's not just going to be about the U.S. auto manufacturers, it's going to be the imports as well. Too expensive, and continue to raise the prices and blaming inflation when they should be eating into the profits to keep their consumers there. It's a narrative we learned from Walmart and Target. You do not lose your consumer by pricing them out of the market. The housing market didn't get it, and they're starting to pivot very quickly. The home builders said, you know what, we have to raise our prices because we need to make a profit. No, when you raise the prices, you will lose the buyer of the homes. That's why the housing market has fallen apart. And the pivot to get those homes now affordable or to get those buyers in there is too late because the mortgage rates are now unsustainable. And so this is what's going to happen with this economy. Greed. I'm not referring to any industry. I'm not referring to any manufacturer. But yes, people got used to very expensive inflationary prices. When the inflation goes away, or when the component part is no longer expensive, when the supply chain disruption is no longer there, they're keeping that same higher price of that product. You know what it looks like? It looks like the coffee growers. It looks like the local coffee shop at the corner. Every time there's a hurricane in Costa Rica, they raise the cup of coffee. And when the hurricane's gone, do they lower the price of coffee? No. And then when there's another hurricane in Costa Rica, they raise the coffee a little bit more. And when the hurricane's gone, do they lower it? No. This is what these other industries are doing. Auto, housing, and others. They are raising the prices and not lowering them. And they're going to price people out of the market. With that, we got a lot coming up today. We have an Evenings LA at 5 o'clock, brand new. I want to see you on that show. We got more stimulus coming up later as well. But for now, I want you to get as much of this stimulus as possible. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that incredible stimulus right now. You deserve it right now. Don't wait. Get these incredible stimuluses across the board. Go into this video, become a member. For just dollars of a membership, hundreds of thousands of dollars of stimulus is ready for you. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you on evenings as programming continues on LALATE.